Now let us look at the next topic, which is one of the most important topics we will cover today, that is safety systems. As already shared with you all, safety systems in a car consist of passive safety system and active safety system. Now let us look at these one by one. Before I dive into the topic, I want you to imagine as we are driving your car. And let's say for some reasons, the car meets with an accident. So the point when your car meets with an accident and the point the passengers inside the car are saved, that period is crucial and that action is taken by a system called passive safety system. Okay, so we have already seen that there are two types of system. One is passive and the other is active. So moving on to passive safety system. So as I said, the point where your car has met with an accident, from that point, passive safety system will take control and it will ensure the life of the passengers are saved. So let us see passive safety system in details now. Passive safety system comes into picture post-impact. That is, it plays a role only after the accident has taken place, which means these systems play after the accident has happened. For example, seat belt and airbag systems. The primary purpose of passive safety system is to save life in case of an accident. It is worth to mention these systems play no role in avoiding the accidents. Hence, these systems do not help avoid accidents. Now, this point will be clear when we look at the active safety system. Now, the next topic, before I move, I want you to imagine again that you're driving your car. So we have already seen there are many sensors in the car. And when you're driving the car, each of the sensor will monitor the driving conditions and it will constantly give input to your electronic control unit. So this entire sensor and ECU will constantly look for circumstances or behavior pattern that will predict accident. And when such an accident is, such a behavior is predicted, active safety system will come into picture and it will completely avoid the possibility of accident itself in the first place. Okay, so let us see the active safety systems in detail. We are going to see what are active safety systems and how are they different from passive safety systems. Active safety systems comes into picture in pre-impact, that is, these systems play a role before accidents happen. Examples include anti-lock braking system, electronic stability control system, lane departure warning system. Okay, these are examples of active safety systems. The primary role of these systems is to prevent accidents. It is interesting to note in case of failure of one of these systems, it does not play any role in saving the life of a passenger. That is the role of passive safety system. Now this point is very important to understand how active safety system is different from passive safety system. So before we dive into the details and take up the example, I want to once again mention that when you're driving a car and we have sensors that is constantly monitoring the driving pattern. So when this pattern is monitored and the accident behavior is observed, active safety system will take control and try its best to avoid accidents. That's where anti-lock braking system, electronic stability system, and traction control system comes into picture. Now imagine active safety system fails and the car meets with an accident. After that point, passive safety system comes into picture and it ensures in spite of accident, the life of passengers are saved. So we're going to see these one by one. So starting with airbag control system. Before I get into airbags, okay, I want you to know that airbags can be dangerous, okay, and we'll get to this point at the end of the webinar. So airbag control systems, what are they? It is a passive restraint system which determines crashes and deploys airbags, thus preventing the loss of human life in crash situations. An electronic control unit processes a signal from an accelerator sensor and based on an algorithm it deploys airbags. The role of airbag is to prevent injuries to vital parts of human body. What are the vital parts of human body? Its head, chest, and face. Now there are some prerequisites to effectively use airbags in preventing injuries. That includes passenger is in seating position, passenger is wearing seat belt, not too many passengers in a car, and no child sits in front facing the rear. Now we have to understand why these prerequisites are there and how each of this plays a role. So starting with the first point, which is passenger in seating position. As you might know, airbags are positioned in fixed points in car. So you have this front airbag that is positioned inside your steering wheel, and there are certain airbags on the side, and you'll also have some luxury cars which provides carpet airbags, that is to protect your feet. And then there are some airbags for protecting knees. It's called knee airbags. So when an accident happens, it's very important that we follow corrective seating positions. Only when we follow corrective seating positions, the vital human parts will be targeted by the airbag, and it will be able to effectively save the vital target parts of human body. That's why the correct seating position is important. The next point is wearing seat belt. There are two important factors why this is important. Let's look at the first one. First is, imagine you're not in the corrective seating position. Instead of purchasing a car with airbags, you will not enjoy the benefit of having airbag because it is not effectively protecting you from an accident. So this seat belt, when you are plugged into seat belt, you are 80 to 90% in correct seating position. So the seat belt helps you to automatically sit in correct seating position. So that is one advantage and why it is a prerequisite. Secondly, imagine you have a car with airbags installed, but you have parked your car and gone to have food in restaurant. And unfortunately, a rogue driver comes in and he has hit your car when the car is parked. Okay, so here I want to mention that airbags are one-time use. So when you have an airbag deployed in your car, you cannot reuse the same airbag. So when your car is parked and somebody hits your car and nobody is inside the car, there is no need to deploy airbag. Okay, and how is the algorithm checking this? It will see if the seat belts are plugged in, because a car that is parked will not have a seat belt plug in because there are no passengers that will need to use the seat belt. And that's why wearing the seat belt is important.